Dear Sanya,
Never before in South Asia has a death in Sao Paulo, Brazil caused so much distress and a terrible sense of loss.
so wrote Paneer, your successor as Executive Director of Panos South Asia, a media organization in Kathmandu. From Sao Paulo, your sister-in-law Luciana wrote,
She showed that life is bigger than our little everyday worries. She taught us that we can love all religions, all cultures, all social classes. Because love can be bigger than our little day-to-day problems, little differences that can only cause wars, sadness, fear.
Retired Brigadier Saneeya Hussain. She hated the army. I won't blame her. Though she was a journalist, but she was, at the back of the mind, she was a political figure. And talking of politics, she always preferred that this country should not be controlled by the military.
you didn't have to fight for your own rights, but you were concerned about others and were active in the struggle for women's rights in Pakistan. You fiercely opposed General Ziaul Haq's 11-year-long military dictatorship with its restrictions on the media and on women. YL captured your spirit in his cartoons of that era in the weekend paper you edited. It was also during this time that linkages were formed with like-minded journalists and activists in India despite the restrictions.
In fact, I never thought of any of the friends I made there as Pakistani, just as I didn't think of myself as Indian.
In early 1988, frustrated by the relentless curbs on journalists, you joined IUCN, the World Conservation Union, where you pioneered environmental journalism in Pakistan.
I thought it was a brave decision to step out into the unknown at a point in your career when you probably could have, she could have risen to become editor. Later on, of course, I realized that this is part of what Saneeya is.
She was always at heart a journalist. There were no sacred cows. At the core of Saneeya, there was great integrity. There was a great need to always fight for justice, to always defend the weak. She was in many ways a role model for so many young women journalists.
You moved to South Africa in 1998 to join the independent World Commission on Dams as communications consultant, tackling the controversial issues associated with large dams. There you met Luis, a Brazilian geographer. 2 years later, you got married and moved together to Kathmandu, where you took over as director of Panos. One of your major projects there involved the media and the Pakistan-India conflict. You defied convention in a region where most women get married young to husbands chosen by their families.
She wasn't anti-marriage, just that she didn't find the right person, I suppose, till she met Louis. We were happy. We said, yes, there are lots of barriers, religion and language, culture, and so on. But she was a mature woman.
She was 47 and I was 36. Our age difference is 11 years. This fantastic love story happened because we are not expecting to find the solution of our problem or the person that we are waiting for.
You had more choices and space than the average Pakistani woman, and you were strong and clear in making these choices.
No one can give her the stamp as Saneeya Hussain, a feminist, or she had these issues as an important focus on her life, but not in a traditional way, everything with some sauce, with a good taste. And now the only thing that I can think is that, well, why it was so short, why she had to go so early in such a way that we cannot understand. We had a normal day at home. In the afternoon she was reading her book, was working at the computer, and then she started having a horrible crisis of asthma, and you had to rush to the hospital. And I can say that, I don't know if I can say like that, but my feeling is that Saneeya was killed by a terrible traffic jam that did not allow us to reach the hospital in time.
So the lightness that she brought to all the causes, without obviously compromising on the principles and the seriousness of the issue. And I think that made those causes more popular and also more widely accepted.